Well, this is a challenging essay, and if you want to talk to me about it, I'll probably be around tonight, Sunday night, and that might work. But really, everything in the essay is in your homework. You may have to do the homework over again and do it in earnest, but basically, you're asked five distinct quotes with explanations as to why Wellingham was sentenced to death. That's from part one. And most of that will hover around the fire forensics. There are a couple other things. But if you have that, if you have good quotes, if you know those big things that pointed to death and execution, get them. And do it well. Do it well. And find more than that. Find a dozen quotes and narrow it down to the best five. And don't talk your way through it. Just actually do the critical reading, get some of the best lines, and say, how come? That's really quite straightforward. And the next one is to go through parts 2 and 6, is find out how almost all of those things that made him so guilty in part 1 are, what I'm going to say, negated, found to be nonsense, turned around, utterly baseless, and you know why they're baseless in parts 2 to 6. And that's really simple, before and after. And if you have that copy, and then you narrow it down to your theme, it could be faulty fire forensics. That's the main one. Confirmation bias, that takes a little bit more critical thinking. And you could tuck in a little bit about, unreliable witnesses, Johnny Webb, Barbie Monahan, etc., all of whom are pretty much taken to pieces in parts 2 to 6. Then you have an idea of how this case worked. And by the way, part 1, he does look guilty. That's the brilliance about David Grann's writing, is that you want that guy to go away for life. If you don't want him executed, I get it, but you don't want him around. He killed his 3 kids. And only in the latter parts, 2 to 6, do you realize, oh, that was just a truckload of nonsense. And so that's cool. That's why his lawyer thought he was guilty. Part 1, fire forensics. That's why his wife, who thought he was innocent up until weeks before he was executed, read through the trial transcripts and realized, oh, he's guilty. Part 1. She didn't read Gerald Hurst's basically tearing apart the flawed forensics and basically concluding that this was not arson, that man is innocent. She didn't read that. She just read the trial transcripts. She just read part 1 like you did. Like his lawyer did in a way, because the lawyer basically is following the fire forensics, like the prosecutor did. Everybody did. They knew he killed his kids. And later on, you realize, oh, he didn't kill his kids. And Texas executed an innocent man. So if you can get the before and after quotes and get a bunch and find the ones that really show a reversal on some of those key ingredients, you've got the bulk of your essay. It's right there from your homework. God, that homework was 2 weeks ago. Okay, this is not new. And then you go into your research, and I do give a couple of good links here. I kind of explain it, but then later on, you've got some pretty good links. The library guide, if you go into that, National Registry of Exonerations, you can look up his cellmate, Ernest Ray Willis. You can look at the Innocence Project. You can find all kinds of parallel stories. And once you know how Wellingham was wrongfully convicted and why he is, and you have the quotes to show that he's actually an innocent man, and also the quotes to show why people thought he was guilty, then you can follow through these other stories and start connections. You got the National Registry of Exonerations, the Texas Science Report, Forensic Science Commission Report. And you've got all these great things. So there's no shortage of material for this essay. It's just a matter of settling down and reading for it. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I just think that if the essay seems overwhelming, it's not that the assignment is that complex. It's that you haven't gone step by step through all of the homework assignments leading up to the essay. So If it's on Sunday and you're hitting a wall, feel free to email me, but also consider that if you don't know where you're going, go back through the homework related to this essay. Almost everything is there. I hope this gives you an idea of how to approach it.